We're here again today, Locke, to do something we've never done before. Anamorphic vlogging. And I'm going to show you something we missed last time. Let's go.
There's wide lenses, there's autofocusing ones, and there's anamorphic, but I've never seen one combined all in one lens.
So this is Siri's first autofocusing anamorphic lens. They had the 40mm before. Last time went to London to use it. This is their second one, 20mm, quite a bit wider. Of course, that is for Super 35, so it is cropped. I think there's missing wings.
Oh, just a tube now.
It's just a big sausage. It actually saves a lot of faff, you know, just having autofocus. As much as I like using manual lenses, you can just point and shoot.
It is this convenience that makes it feel, in use, like a regular spherical lens made for a hybrid camera. But then you see the squished up image that requires de-squishing, and then you remember it's an anamorphic.
The Concord.
Concord.
It's hot.
Toilet drain.
Yeah. You don't want to. You don't want to stand under that.
Presumably that's only open when they land.
Yeah. After.
It's a 1.33 times anamorphic. Basically, it gives you an indication of how stretched it will be. 2 times will give you a more letterbox look.
What a pro! He managed to film while having a bit of coffee as well. Yes, so this Sirui is anamorphic, 1.33 times, autofocusing, but the anamorphic bit is in the rear instead of front. Front is front heavy, obviously, because it's at the front. Will be rear heavy if it's at the front, but it also makes the lens a lot heavier than if you put the anamorphic at the back.
It does make this lens lighter and more compact, which is a plus for those wanting to balance it on a gimbal with a body like the FX30. Very much suitable if you plan on making cine aesthetic images without a cine-like crew.
You might be able to see right at the back there. That's the kind of the oval anamorphic bit.
Well, technically I'm not sure if it's right in the rear, but it's certainly not a front anamorphic.
40 centimeters closest focusing distance, that's quite reasonable.
Close focus is definitely a big bonus for anamorphic. It's not like there's a huge choice that will allow you to go up this close. And when you've got wide lens, it really encourages you to get up and close to the subject, to fill the frame with the subject, yet have plenty of that background detail as context. And of course, right close up at 40 centimeters and T1.8, you'll get maximum bokeh. And the bokeh looks pretty pleasing. And it is that, and even just a slight bit of anamorphicness, that makes it look so cine-like, which is great, even if you're just using it to make your YouTube videos look a bit snazzier.
I mean, I don't think they planned it this way. I don't think they designed it specifically for anamorphic vlogging, but you can. I mean, it's plenty wide. Look at that.
Oh yeah?
I don't know how shaky it is. I don't think I've got active stabilization on. Ooh.
Should have used a Panasonic with anamorphic stabilization.
Such a shill. Well, let's put active stabilization on. What's the crop going to look like? Steady shot standard. Okay, bit of crop.
Using active steady shot, there's a 1.1 times crop incurred. Now, even though this lens is made with Super 35 in mind, you could technically use it on full frame. This is what it looks like on full frame without steady shot. As long as you're fine with vignetting, softer corners, and slight pincushion distortion on the edges, you're good to go. With active steady shot on, it crops some of that out, and you can always apply a bit of clear image zoom to crop a bit more of that out.
Right, let's go. You can see some of the bokeh right there. Going to show Locke something interesting.
Oh, that's what we missed last time.
I think we missed it because it looks like an emergency, you know, fire exit. Okay, it's this way. It smells like a car showroom.
20mm on crop, Super 35, whatever you want to call it. It sounds like you'll get a 30mm quiv, but it's different on anamorphic. It covers more on the horizontal because it was squished in. It works nicely for interior shots, even when the space is tight. It is this wideness in an anamorphic, which is not all that often seen, especially not at a price point accessible to everyone, that brings in a fresh new creative possibility when filming. That wide view and ability to work close up in tight spaces are super beneficial when filming on the streets. And then of course, it's got the ability to autofocus on top of that.
Another thing is, when you're using this on the Sony, of course it autofocuses. The trouble is, when you put the anamorphic de-squeeze on, the autofocus doesn't work. Just why?
It's Sony.
It's Sony.
They always have some weird limitation, do they?
So I just have to make do with that being a bit squished. but that's fine. Autofocusing, well, we can test autofocusing. Is the speed good? Whoa. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, in frame there.
Face detection works with the Sony, and having tested it for filming a previous video shot on the street, it seemed reliable. Using subject tracking, it would track a subject, that's me, and it pulls focus nice and smoothly. Also, with regards to breathing, there's a bit of it, but not a huge amount. The other characteristics of anamorphic that one might be after? Flaring.
It's just, oh, look at that. Look, how cinematic is that?
Quite commonly seen, but no less pleasing. It does the whole anamorphic flaring for adding that hint of, well, flair to your footage.
I like it because it is lightweight. I don't like taking the other anamorphics out because they're ridiculously heavy.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not too bad.
I kind of think anamorphic is just inherently cool anyway. You can use it for, even if you're not taking video, you can use it as a sort of like a panoramic camera. You know, it's your X-pan. You can turn the camera into an X-pan.
I'm not sure if many would buy anamorphic for stills, but why not? It's like having a panoramic digital camera. Like the 14mm, this 20mm Sirui makes anamorphic easy to get into for anyone, especially those who are essentially a one-man band of filmmaking. Some might want more anamorphic in an anamorphic, whether it be stretchier bokeh or more letterbox look, but as a 20mm with autofocus, this does offer something that is quite unique for any anamorphic lens.
So that's the Sirui 20mm anamorphic 1.33 times. Just the right amount of anamorphic goodness when you combine it with autofocusness. It's a practical lens. It's a very useful lens if you're just shooting by yourself, run and gun. You can see, look, normal, anamorphic, normal, anamorphic. Which one do you like? Do you like anamorphic? It's better when there's a bit of flaring cutting through my head, isn't it? Look.